could have kept that quiet at least until halfway through.
Yeah.
You still gotta start from good though.
Fuck's sake.
Right, coming in. It's 1:45. So, hi guys, welcome to Petit Le Mans. For those of you that don't know why we're here or what you signed up for, you'll be glad to know that means you'll be taking part in a 10-hour race at Road Atlanta this evening. Before we let you loose in qualifying, I'm just going to go over a few details and lay some ground rules that everyone has an equal chance to win and is treated fairly. So the first things first, let's get the essentials out of the way, which is the skin pack. Please make sure you've got this downloaded and installed. It is available on the Steam Workshop. If you go to recent downloads on there, we'll leave a link in the Petit Le Mans channel for you if you haven't got it. Ensure all your teammates do have it installed, otherwise you're going to be have a very long pit stop when you do your drive change, because you can't download it by joining the server. It has to be downloaded from the Steam Workshop. It's the only way to get it, and it's about 2 gigabytes in size. So yeah, better get out of the way sooner rather than later. And also, before joining the server, please ensure you use the names that you signed up with, because it helps us a lot when we're streaming, because we can identify who you are, because it matches the spotter guide. And I always say this, it never looks good when I have to say that, you know, something like Pikachu 001 has taken the lead of the race. It just doesn't look good. So please make sure that you do that. If you don't know how to do it, open up your rFactor 2 launcher, top right-hand corner, click on your account name, and then it will come up with your first and last name. Put your details in, and then save. It's as easy as that. It takes 2 minutes maximum. Once you've done those 2 things, you can then join the server. You're going to be presented with 1 hour of qualifying time. All teams and all classes are free to drive around the circuit during the duration of this 1 hour window, meaning you will need to watch and time your laps carefully to get a clean run. Please ensure that the person that's starting the race for your team is the one that sets the qualifying lap. The reason we asked you to do this is rFactor 2 will not recognize that you're both in the same team, and when you go to the race session, it will send you to the back of the grid as a result. Is there any questions about that? No? Good. After qualifying is complete, the server shall move on to a 5-minute warm-up session for you to get a drink, etc. And then you're presented with the race, which will have the following conditions. Fuel consumption will be at ×1, time acceleration will be at ×1, tyre wear will be ×1. You will have a rolling start. Flag rules will be on, including yellows and blues, and cut track penalties will also be on for those that feel a bit cheeky. When the server moves over to the race session, you will have 1 minute to grid your car. If you fail to grid your car, you will miss the race. There's no way for us to avoid this. I don't believe there's a way for you to start from pit lane, so please be awake and know what's going on around you when this does happen. Once the countdown has finished, the safety car will roll off the line and begin the warm-up lap. And during this time, please stay close to the car ahead of you in a 2-wide formation. If you leave a large gap to the car ahead for a long period of time, the game will disqualify you. Why? Because it's rFactor 2, that's why. When you approach the chicane in sector 3, so that's the third to last corner, please start to create a gap between classes. So LMP2s stay close to the safety car, LMP3s start to slowly back off from the LMP2s, and vice versa for the GTEs. Once the safety car pulls into the pit lane, you must wait until the pole sitter goes underneath the Michelin sign. That's the only reference that we can use for the start finish, which is going to be indicated by the following picture, which has now been uploaded to the Petit Le Mans channel. Please wait until the pole sitting car for your class reaches that shadow on the track, and then you can all go racing for your class only. Is there any questions about that? Because that's extremely important.
I thought we were doing single file. That's what I heard in red.
No, double file to the shadow below the Michelin sign, and then your class, LMP2, LMP3, GTE, can then go racing. Okay. If someone jumps the start, then they will receive a stop and go penalty straight away. And it's vital that if someone decides that they're going to start early, don't copy them, because otherwise things are going to get messy very quickly. Yeah.
No passing before the checkered.
No passing. You can go racing as soon as the first pole sitting car reaches that shadow on the track. As soon as they reach that line, the class can go green. Yeah? Are there any questions? No? Right. So this is a 10-hour race. So no Maldonado moments in turn one, please. Think smart and think ahead. And you just might make it to the checker flag in one piece. We hate to see DNFs, and what we dislike the most are stupid DNFs. So please take it easy for the first few laps. Just get settled into a nice rhythm, and then you can start to really get your foot down and go racing. All right. As the race goes on, you're going to, funnily enough, require some more fuel and some driver changes. So this brings me nice and on to the pit entry and exit. I'm just going to upload some pictures now for you of exit and entry. And the only thing we can really say about Petit Le Mans is that the exit and entry are just shit. There's no other way of saying it. They are horrible pit lanes. So with this in mind, if you are coming into the pit lane, which is picture 2, then please, before you go over the top of the hill, stay on the right-hand side of the circuit. Make sure that you are clearly going into that pit lane to let other teams know that you are doing so and they're not going to go up your ass, especially if you're in the faster class. If you're going over the top of that hill and you've got a GTE that wants to go into the pit lane, you're instinctively going to go over to the right of them. And if they then cut across, then that's going to be a nasty collision. So before you go over the hill, right-hand side, make it really clear, obvious that you're going into the pit lane, and we won't have any issues. Also, by the time you get over the top of the hill, it's going to be a sharp right-hand corner downhill, so make sure that you're not carrying full speed, otherwise you're going to be into the wall, and that's going to be an instant DNF for you. Same thing for exiting the pit lane. Make sure that you stay within the white lines and the dotted yellow lines as you come back onto the track limits. Beware of what's around you. We're not going to treat you like idiots. We know that you want to get back up to racing speed, but just look in those mirrors. Make sure there's no faster classes coming up next year, and then when it's safe to do so, retake the racing line and continue on. Of course, if you haven't read the rules and regulations, you should know that you need to do a minimum of 2 hours of driving time for this race per driver. So if you get into the car as a driver, you need to do a minimum of 2 hours driving time. And that's over the course of the race. So however you want to split that time up is up to you. But by the end of between the start and the finish, you need to complete 2 hours of driving time. Any questions about that?
Is there any enforcement of the pit entry line?
The pit entry line, you have to stay within that yellow line that's indicated by the track. So the best way to do it is stay on the right hand side before you go over the top of the hill, and then you'll always be within those pit entry limits. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I'm going to hand you over to Dan. He's going to touch on some track limits because there are some corners that need to be mentioned, and also along with reporting incidents as well.
Right. Hi, everyone. Some of you have raced with us before, some of you haven't. Our standard track limits rules apply. That is 2 wheels within the white lines at all times. Some of them are yellow here, but you get the idea. 2 wheels within those lines at all times, please. I'm going to drop in a track map into Discord, so we're all talking about the same thing. All right. A few corners I want to bring up. Here we go. Turn 3. That right-hander, it's very easy to cut that. We're going to be watching that, so be careful there. Turn 5, I know some of you have questioned about this. You can use that curb in. This is the only exception of the whole track. You can use that curb in there on the right, highlighted in green. Yes. So yeah, you can use that up to there's another curb in that starts after that. You can use it up to there. And just another one is turn 10A, which is the start of the chicane at the end of the lap. Watch the curbing on the right. I know some of you like to swing across to get you better entry. 2 wheels beyond that is illegal. We'll be watching that one as well. And of course, watch the curbings during the chicane as well. Instant reporting should be PM to myself through Discord. Don't use the in-game chat. I won't see it. The other thing to mention is don't use the in-game chat at all during qualifying and the race. If you've been given a penalty by the game that you feel is unfair, you need to let us know. We don't know that you've been given that. So if you think, okay, I went off, but I didn't gain an advantage and you've been given a penalty for that, let us know. We'll look at it. Same thing with any issues with the game. We've had issues with AI taking control of cars and whatever. We can fix that. We want to see everyone race, and we don't want to see people leaving because they've got game bugs or whatever. When you report an incident to us, please use this template I've dropped in Discord chat. It makes it easiest for us to find what we're supposed to be looking at. Now, unfortunately, someone I know has the great misfortune of getting married, so I'm not going to be available from 4 p.m. After that, you can contact David Buckley. I'll post the announcement in Discord. But yeah, after 4 p.m., we'll contact David Buckley for any issues you're having, please. Don't sit on the server if you're not driving. Only join if you're about to do a drive swap. We can't have 30 people spectating on the server. It's just using too much bandwidth. Final thing is, in the rare event that we have a server failure, we did have a momentary blip last night. Watch Discord for more information. We'll do everything we can to restart the race from where it was. Any questions on that? Okay.
No, well then the last thing to mention will be the live streaming. We will aim, and of course what I mean is that R Factor 2 is very weird in the best of times, so we will aim to stream all 10 hours of the event on our YouTube and Twitch channels, which we will post in the Petit Le Mans channel as well as our announcement page. If you're on Facebook, we'll also post it on there. The stream will go live in about 45 minutes time, which is 15 minutes left in qualifying. And after that, you can join in the waiting room. You can speak to us in the commentary box if you wish. Pop into the waiting room and we will drag you in at the next available opportunity. Tell us how your race is going, yada, yada, yada. We'll ask you some questions. Other than that, if there's no other questions, we wish you a very happy Petit Le Mans and wish you all the best of luck.
Don't know if it's going to cause any problems or not. My replay has gone to slow motion, even though it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
Is that a server thing?
it's a bug.
This R Factor thing.
It's an R Factor thing. Sometimes it does it, but it won't affect the overall performance of the server.
Right.
Guys,
Okay.
If you
I have a
did want to
question.
fix that, just quickly restart your game.
No.
Any other questions before we start?
I have. Can you start procedure repeat?
The start procedure, right, okay. You're going to start with the warm-up lap behind the safety car, in which you will be 2 wide at all times. Stay close to the class or the vehicle ahead. When you get to the chicane in sector 3, so that's the third to last corner, please start to leave a gap between classes. So LMP3s will start to recede and leave a gap between themselves and the LMP2s, and the same goes for GT3s behind. Then when the safety car pulls into the pit lane, you must wait until the pole sitter for your class reaches below the Michelin sign, and then that class only can go racing. Is that clear? Or
So ignore
Okay.
the green flag from the game itself when it says green flag. I'm guessing.
ignore the green flag announced by the game. Wait until your class goes underneath the Michelin sign, and then you can go racing. Everyone clear?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good luck, have fun.
I have a
Good
question
luck, have
actually.
fun.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, one more question.
Yeah, just one thing. Like, didn't we say you get a penalty if you fall too far behind the car ahead?
Yeah, that's why we keep you bunched together until the latter half of the lap. Obviously, you're still going to need to be reasonably close so you don't get a penalty from the game, but we don't.
Hallo. Nu gaan jullie beginnen. Netjes. Het is jammer. Ja, ik had het gehoord. Ik had even snel naar die stream gekeken. Toen zaten jullie in die briefing, dus ik hoorde het, ja. Nee, ik ben even online. Ik heb net de veren van pedalen veranderd. Ik had nog wat reserveveertjes liggen. Of mijn gaspedaal was nog gebroken, die veer. Ik heb de koppelingsveer erin gezet. Die was iets wat stugger. Dan heb ik weer de oude koppelingsveer erin gezet van de andere set. Van de oude set.
Ricky.
Leef.
Ja. Daar mag je niet, die mag je niet kutten, dan moet je gewoon buiten blijven. Want die kan je heel makkelijk schijnbaar kutten zonder een penalty te krijgen. Die mag je gebruiken. Ja. Tot aan die andere curbs gewoon, zeg maar. Even denken, hè. Heb je nou alle goede setup? Of de goede setup? Ja? Klopt, maar ik wil daar een keer in de practice nog even een keer oefenen. Eigen singleplayer. Waar jij hebt met het race, ja. Ja, precies. That's why I ask. Ja, ik denk het wel. Ja. Ja.
Kuttekop,
Ja.
Leuk.
Wing 1-1.
Hallo.
Toesnap 1, radiaat size 3. Oké, ja.
Clippy. Klaar.
Ja, joh.
Ik heb mijn koppelingsveer, mijn gaspedaal omgewisseld.
Ja?
Ja, ik had nog van het ene, van het begin van die veertjes wat in die standaard T3PA zat, heb ik echt omgewisseld.
Toch niet succes, jong.
Eens even testen.
Nou wel.
Toen jullie weg waren, begon er ook ene te zeuren, wat in een GT-auto rijdt. Inhalen over de S's, zeg maar. En ja, wat zegt die admin? Ja, je kunt het niet gaan verbieden, dat is bullshit. En was je klaar met praten, zei ik ook van, je moet elkaar gewoon respecteren. En wat belangrijk is, ben bewust van wat om je heen gebeurt.
Ja.
Ja, dan had hij de mond dicht. Ja, zeker. De admin die sprong ook ertussen en zegt, ja, zo is het.
Ja,
Elkaar
is.
respecteren en bewust zijn wat om je heen gebeurt. Je hebt toch spiegels?
Ja.
Het is geen Project Cars 2.
Nee, oh, niet gelukkig hier.
Niet vloeken.
Bam. Dat moet wel gesteld worden.
Kan je niet gewoon beter via Steam laten meekijken, Tony? Dan kost je toch veel minder performance?
Ja, ik ben er nou aan het doen.
Voor de race begint, zou ik de stream uitgooien, Joe.
Ja, zou ik ook doen. Heb je hem al aanstaan dan?
Ja, even maar staan. Maar heeft Tony dat toegelaten, weet je?
Ja.
Weet je dat,
Ja.
Pro?
Ja, ik zit er al te kijken.
Ah, super.
Dat is cool. Wat lekker. Ik heb weerstand in mijn gaspedaal. Oh, hoe lekker is dat? Misschien is het vele groente dit. Hoppa. Ziek.
Ik heb dat toen ook gedaan, die veer omgewisseld.
Maar die ene was van mij gebroken, hè?
Ja, klopt, ja.
Op de setje wat ik toen gekocht heb.
Ja.
Waarom zit het niet in? Update van 34,8 MB. Die series, versie 2.15. Nice.
Ja. schakelde die nou terug naar de 4?
Nee, hij ging vanuit zijn 3 naar de 5, dus moest een keer terug.
Oh.
Dat heeft je 3 tienden gekost, man.
Ja. Minstens. Oh, wel een 14e.
Nou, messen 6 auto's.
Wat wil je dan? Ja, dan moet je dan wachten.
Log building finished.
– 34 auto's. Ga ik nu kijken. Nou ja, top 10 is al een P2. Zo terug.
Oh, heerlijk man. Ik kan wel half gas rijden.
Beter,
dat gevoel. Oh, en vroeg op het gas gaan. Heerlijk.
Heb je mijn boost 4 toch niet? Oké, nee, is goed. Netjes.
Log building finished.
Nou, reactie. Ja. Dat was een P3, ja. Die zijn ietsjes smaller, zeg maar. En een iets andere achtervleugel. Zeker.
Log building finished.
Uh-oh. Dat is niet goed. Ja. Gooi je stream ook maar uit, Pek. Dus is beter.